baseball. Lead the way. Yeah, it was. I think that goes to show you that you can get all the bats you want, but they only get to come up once every 3 innings at best. You know. Yeah, impressive, and it's good to see that like some of their guys are performing as intended. I mean, the big three of Trey Turner, Mookie Betts, and Freddie Freeman has been quite the spectacle to watch, and it's exciting to watch them. I mean, Freddie Freeman is, I think he's second in the National League in average right now. Yeah, he is at 323, which is like really impressive for Freeman, who when he was in Atlanta, I always saw him more as like a power or like clutch guy, not so much as a guy who hits for average all the time. And it's nice to see that he turned that around. And his teammate Trey Turner is batting 309, which is fourth in the National League. It's good to see that they're relying more on just getting the base hit rather than the home run. Mookie Betts is there to hit it over the fence, not them two right now. Yeah, it's impressive. And what's even crazier is that going into this season, his batting average was 279 for his career. To be able to tick up that high that quickly for just the first season of many with the Dodgers, it's sign of trending upwards. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, Tony Gonsolin having a 2.24 ERA is not something I expected coming into the season. Julio Urias and I think it's what is his name? The other guy. It's not Ian Anderson. It's Tyler Anderson, right? He's been. I mean, those are three guys in the Dodgers who have under a 3 ERA who are starting. It's ridiculous. I think that they're really clicking on all cylinders, and having that ability is impressive. Yeah, I mean, this is the Dodgers that we've known over the past, what, 4 or 5 years now, that we're gonna see them be the World Series favorite when October comes around. Whoa. Yeah, which was depressing. Yeah, yeah. Do you wanna jump over to now to the Padres and talk about what's going on with them? Because they seem to be in free fall mode.
Yeah,
And I mean, they were really looking forward to getting back a top 5 player in baseball this year, and I mean, Fernando, not this year, last year, who was for sure a top 5 player, and Fernando Tatis Jr., and he got popped for PEDs, which is
so I don't know.
yeah, 42 games next year.
It's tough. I if it really was, it, I don't think I
Yeah, I just hope that, obviously this tarnishes his entire legacy going forward, even though he's still just a young guy. Like anyone, I think it does just because you got popped and you tested positive for it. It's different than just speculating that someone took it. And then, but no, I do believe it too that there is proof. He didn't need it. He doesn't need it. Yeah. I think that it was just a case of he was probably somewhere where he couldn't immediately get to the team doctors, and he just went to a different doctor, and the doctor just prescribed him what the best possible medication was. Going forward, I hope that Tatis takes this as a learning step because going forward, he has to contact only the team doctors when anything happens, no matter where he is. The man is a $340 million man. The Padres will send out a jet and get it. Yeah, yeah. But I'm hoping the best for Nando. I just hope that he comes back next year. I think he'll be back on the 43rd game, barring that he does not get into any motorcycle incidents again or anything of that sort. He will be back on the 43rd game of next season, and I will be tuning in. That's a guarantee. That was electric. But It's, cra- it's crazy to think that he was the third player that the Padres picked up. Like he's third in line when you talk about the trade deadline for the Padres. Juan Soto. Yeah. What was his OPS? Oh my god. Yeah, he's spectacular. Yeah, and I think he leads the National League in walks too. I think tonight probably he'll get number 100. I think he's at 99 right now.
yeah,
Yeah, Yeah, you pack up, you move across the country, you're on a new team with all new teammates and stuff. I'd say just give him some time. Happy birthday, Josh Bell. Together, you can't hear our clapping,
Yeah. So, we
per usual. Home run celebration. Yeah, well, besides last night. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think the big thing with the Yankees so first off, that 13 inning game with I mean, it was Cole versus Castillo in Seattle. That right now, that's my game of the year. That game was electric from start to finish. I watched the whole thing. I could not have been more happy with just watching the game. Of course, I wish the outcome would have changed, but that's whatever. I think that the issue has been recently is Aaron Boone is I'm trying to think of the right way to say this. Aaron Boone has been trying to become the smartest guy in the room again. Before he was just managing the game and doing what is best to win, but we saw like trying to conduct the double steal in the 10th inning, I think it was. Like you can't go back to being that type of Aaron Boone. And yes, of course they are missing bullpen pieces. Like, oh my god, what I would do to have Michael King back. But at the same time, it's we can't really do anything about that. You got to go forward. But to tell you the truth, and I'd say this for just about every team, I'd rather see a team slump now than slump going into the playoffs or slump in the playoffs. Because if Aaron Boone can figure it out, right? Let's just go with who's another team that's probably going to be in the playoffs. The Guardians, another team that have kind of been wishy-washy. Sure, they're 7-3, but they're not winning games how they did in the first half. Both of those teams, I'd rather see them figure it out now and know what works now rather than in the playoffs. Well, this Yeah, I mean, that's been the argument all year. It just depends on where you side. I think y I think that one thing that we have to also realize is that as Yankee fans, right, we've been pleasured enough to see great teams come almost every year. Every season, they're good teams put out there on the field. But if you look back to, I think it's the '96 Yankees, the 2000 Yankees, the 2009 Yankees, all those years when the Yankees won a championship, they led the division by more than 10 games, and somehow by the end of the season they won the division by 2 games, 4 games, 3 games, like right in there. So it's gonna happen. No team can be that dominant for that long, especially with going through a trade deadline like the Yankees did, especially going through like a big break, which is the All-Star break. I'm not worried the same, but there are reasons that you can point to for the Yankees kind of slumping a little bit now. Yeah, but then again, they have a lot more firepower. Yeah. But at one point they were up by a lot more is what I'm saying.
They double-header with the Braves.
So I'm going to come out right now and start my petition for after the All-Star break, every rivalry within each division has to play each other for 5 games like that. I think that was the best of much watch baseball, even though sure the Mets took 4 out of 5, the Braves were in just about every single game until the very end. That was just great baseball to watch. Like give me Yankees, Red Sox, give me Dodgers, Giants. I said just about. All the way around. Braves won that game. 6-4, 6-9, and then the 2 games were 8-5, 6-2, and then 5-2. Yeah, and then 5-2. Yeah, but they were still good games in my opinion. Still it still felt like the games were close when you watched it. I mean, the atmosphere at Citi Field looked electric. Everyone was really rooting for everybody. Oh, yes, it did. Yeah. But the Phillies are now running into the Mets, which is it's been interesting to watch those 2 teams play. Yeah, they beat them on Friday. They lost 1-0. Aaron Nola and Jacob deGrom both absolutely shoved, but of course Nola gave up 1 run, and when you're facing Jacob deGrom, you can't afford to do that. So Mets went out and won that game, and now they play the rubber match tonight. No, Sunday Night Baseball is Yankees, Dodgers. Yankees, Red Sox. Thank you. Yeah, I can. If I had to guess, it's probably Scherzer, but I'm not 100% sure. No, Bassett. Bassett and he's throwing out Wheeler, so that's gonna be a good game. Yeah. How do you feel about the National League Central? Is what I wanted to ask you. The Cardinals now overtook the Brewers. They're up about a half game right now. Yeah, a few days ago, but they're still only a half game ahead. How do you feel about the Brewers kind of falling out of first place by their own accord? basically. Their fault. Yeah, well, it's not the players on the field's fault. Yeah, that was a good game last night. I think that this is exactly how the season ends, except, obviously a game back instead of half of a game back. Yeah. It's shocking how much the Phillies are clicking right now without having Bryce Harper, which is a good sign for Phillies fans because when he does come back, like, yeah, he'll impact your team more, and it's good to get the ball rolling now. Yeah, they're gonna hit the ground running with him, and I mean, are we gonna see Red October? Will we see some Red October? I believe so. Yeah, yeah, it- yeah. I would have told you that it would have been a classic case of the White Sox running away with the division again, and I could not have been more wrong. White Sox are playing exactly 500 baseball, I believe. No, 58 and 56 on the year right now. The yeah are they're showing what they do have. However, at this offseason, it could all come crashing down because Correa can opt out. They do have a lot of guys who can get moved. So we'll see what Minnesota does, and maybe yeah, I know. Like the White Sox, I did. I was going from the White Sox to the Twins, and then to the Guardians at the top. And then yeah, the Guardians at top. I mean, it's wild to think that they've been playing good baseball. I mean, you don't just get into first place for no good reason. And I think that that has a lot to do with their underdog mentality. Like I feel like going into the season, everyone doubted them immensely, and now they're kind of showing off like, hey, we're big leaders. We can do it. Yeah, yeah. That contract extension looks better by the day, especially when you're winning games. Yeah, he's off the wall. Unstoppable is the best way to put it. Agreed. I think yeah, they're on the up and up trajectory, and it's a good thing to see. Agree. I agree. Um, the Aaron Judge, first player to hit a first player to have 100 RBIs this season. Round of applause. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Is it crazy to just say the word dominance? I mean, Judge has been performing at an all-time level. He's I think what's crazy. Yeah. Uh, I mean, he has the highest slugging percentage, highest OPS. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he has a higher WAR than Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani pitches and hits. He does both. He's a two-way player, and Aaron Judge has a higher WAR than him this season. Oh, second time he was robbed of an MVP. Yeah, a black performance on the mound too last year.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, Judge has been doing well. I mean, in the National League, Paul Goldschmidt has just been absolutely demolishing baseballs. He's batting 330 on the year, which leads the National League. How many homers does he have now? What,
uh,
28? 28 homers, and he has 89 RBIs, which is behind Pete Alonso for first. Pete Alonso has been out. He's just been an RBI machine. Um, yeah, yeah. Goldschmidt, though, I mean, he's I think my clear front runner for NL MVP. Is that wild to say? And then go ahead. Well, then I was just going to mention uh, a guy who I think, if you exclude one start, should have MVP votes. Sandy Alcantara. I mean, he has been unstoppable. It is wild to see how many times I get the notification on my phone, Sandy 8 inning strong. Sandy complete game shutout. He did kind of implode against the Phillies the other night. It's one little hiccup. I'm not too worried about that, but he has been a spectacular watch. He's just been great. Definitely deserves MVP votes. Yeah. Make it fun. Yeah, absolutely wild. I'm proud of the Orioles. I think that if they can finish out the season strong, obviously there's still plenty of baseball left, but if they can continue this and finish out the season strong, whether or not they make the playoffs or just miss it, free agents are going to want to think twice about signing with the Orioles. They're going to want to think about it first because if they're doing all of this with young kind of ragtag guys for basically what the Mets are paying Max Scherzer, Imagine adding a $30 million a year player or, two $20 million a year players. Yeah, I'll start that campaign now. I would buy an Orioles Aaron Judge jersey. Well, we'll talk about Trey Mancini later. Closers. I mean, I think my new favorite Yeah. I think my new favorite video to find on social media is after the Orioles win, the Orioles social media team posts the video of Adley Rutschman going to the pitcher, after the final out or whatever, and Adley just like yelling in their face, like, let's go, man, let's go, like getting hyped. And it's a kid playing baseball. That's all that it is. He's a young stud playing baseball. Yeah. And one player that I want to highlight because I think he's been doing spectacular and the numbers don't show it, but he really does pass the eye test is Jorge Mateo. I mean, he's only batting 230 with an OPS of 680, but the guy has 27 stolen bases. So anytime you walk him or he gets a single, it's almost a double. He has been a glue guy playing shortstop or second wherever they throw him. He's always going to be there. He's been a big glue guy. Him and Rutschman, I think, are like the one and two for the clubhouse hype guys. Like they're the first ones to start partying after every win. They're the first ones to say, "Hey guys, don't worry about the loss. Let's go get the next one." Watching Jorge Mateo mature because he's been thrown around the league a little bit as he was a prospect. Watching him mature has been something I think people are not noticing, and it's great to see. Yeah, called up. They called up one of their prospects to pitch last night. I think. Who was it? Not Rodriguez. The other guy. Hall. Hall. They called him up to pitch last night. He did okay. Yeah, DL Hall. Yeah. I I think obviously the runs. Yeah, the runs are the big red flag. Yeah. The runs are the big red flag, but having 6 strikeouts in 3 innings it looks pretty good. So, obviously, it's just a small control issue or something like that, that the Orioles, with how their pitching has been this year out of the bullpen, especially, they're gonna find a way to figure it out with him. I hope so, because he has the potential there. Rays, I must say, great tribute to Brett Phillips last night or 2 nights ago, whenever it was, but it was a great tribute video. But, yeah. There if there's a will, there's a way. How's that? Well, so one thing that I wanted to address was, the Oakland Athletics. Just because I feel so bad for their fans. I saw a photo last night that was going around on Twitter of what the attendance looked like for Yankee legend JP Sears making his start as an Oakland Athletic, and it's just like it doesn't even feel real. It's nothing good with the Athletics. I just wish that they would sell the team, move somewhere else. Like they need to do something because it's really depressing seeing that the Athletics, who are arguably the worst team in baseball this year, playing right across the river from the Giants, who have been historically a good franchise, who are able to get it done, who sell out crowds even when they're, playing bad teams. It's upsetting. Oakland, please do something. They could have kept their guys. They could have kept their guys. They could have done other things. I know, but it's just upsetting. Yeah. It's the second what's crazy is that it's only the second most pitcher friendly park in baseball, and I have no idea what the first one is. I kept seeing this graphic that was going all over Instagram that, Frankie Montas, it looks good on paper, but he only pitches well at home type of thing, which I'm not gonna believe Frankie Montas is still a good pitcher, but I don't know what the first best, pitching atmosphere is. No, not terrible. He's a good 2. He's a good 2. Yeah, they're impressive. I mean, Seattle, it feels like they're right on their tail, but they're not. They're 12 games up, like you just said. And then yeah, this whole new playoff format of having 3 teams in the wild card, I think is one of my favorite things that baseball's ever done. I enjoy baseball. Yeah, did you know that I like baseball too? Uh, um, thank you. I think for the Field of Dreams game, they should open go ahead. I think that the MLB openly should allow metal bats and juiced balls at the Field of Dreams game to make it a must-watch thing. Yeah, that would make it a lot more fun. I did like the on-field interviews. Wilson Contreras, I had a heart attack seeing him round second, and I genuinely at first when I saw it, like in real time, I thought he snapped his leg in half, and it made me freak out. I'm happy to know that he just rolled his ankle and he's gonna be fine because that really scared the hell out of me. Yeah, the MLB has said that they're unsure if they're gonna do it again in 2023. If they are, do do the right thing here, MLB. Let the fans vote on who should play there. Like, give us 5 5 teams. Well, it's hard to market the 2 worst teams. They should what they need to start is Padres. Yeah, yeah. I think what I wanted to see, and I've been advocating for this on social media, is give me Padres Cardinals. That's a fun one. I mean, what the MLB should do during the offseason, send people an email that says, "Hey, here are the 5 different games that we can put on at the Field of Dreams. Vote for which one." Yeah, right, right. Oh, yeah, it was more than sold out. It's always good to see the spirit of the game, like the fantasy come to reality sort of thing, which is sounds a little tacky, but that's true. Like, you see the clips and the videos and the photos and everything of the Field of Dreams jam, and I like it.
The, before rookie senior came out.
Yeah. You dropped the ball. Shame. Yes. Not really. One thing that I have been looking at since we started and could not have been more happy about is the Homer draft. Yeah. Nice. So I started back on August 2nd. I made my picks and I was at 55. And then I took Trey Mancini in the American League, who hit a 2-run home run and in a 2-homer game with a grand slam and a solo homer. So that gives me what, 5, 6, 7. Nice. Yeah. And then I took Manny Machado, who I think I said was going to show off for his new teammates. And I don't think he disappointed. He hit a solo homer. He had 2 solo home runs, one just last night, and he had a 3-run walk-off home run, which saved Josh Hader. So I think I did pretty well for myself. I am very happy with my picks. uh, 67 now. No, no, I always let the loser pick first. Oh, damn. Okay. Uh, I'm gonna go with someone who I haven't gone with yet. I think I'm gonna go to the National League for my first pick, which might sound crazy, but I'm going to. And I think it's going to be, let me just check a few things here. I think I'm going to go with Rowdy Tellez. I don't like the silence. Boring. Mm, Uh, uh, so I have to take someone in the American League, right? All right. I think I'm going to go with. I mean, I love the idea of picking Corey Seager, but I took him a couple of weeks ago, and he really let me down. Was it two? Yeah, it was two. Yeah. Uh, how about underrated here? Kyle Tucker, of the Astros. I like that. I think who do the Astros play? I should have probably looked at that too. Who do the They play the A's, Athletics, and then the Braves. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with that pick. Per usual. Pick the right one this time, maybe. Oh, that's an interesting pick. I don't think anyone has saved him. What's funny to me is he only has 67. He only has 15 home runs on the season, but I mean, OPS of 922. He's due. I will tell you, I think that that's the best pick you've taken so far. He's very due. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go first. I think that taking away the trade deadline is a good idea, but I think that there obviously needs to be a stoppage of when you do trade, of course. Like I think during the postseason you should not be able to make trades, but take away the trade deadline because a team that could be dead last in the division on the last day of the season could sell their top three pitcher in baseball as like a rental, to a great team that needs a pitcher to get them over the edge, type of thing. Which it would be fun. It would be really fun to look on Baseball Reference and see, oh, this guy played 14 games for like the Brewers and won a championship. Like look back on it. I'm all for getting rid of the trade deadline. That would be fun. So,
Make sure you do your homework.
alright. Yeah, that would be BS, but it said reality can be whatever I want. uh, I would like to inform everybody here on this podcast that Alex and I have now become the biggest Luke Voigt fans on the planet. Every time we get a notification that says Luke Voigt did anything for the Nationals, we are going back and forth texting about how we love Luke Voigt so much. It's it is my favorite thing to do. Who doesn't? It's hard not to. Oh yeah, and I mean 2020 home run leader for a reason.
Yeah.
Make sure you do your
Cool.
homework.
For Holden. All right.
Baseball.
Yeah, sounds good. Hello.